Hi, how are you guys doing? So we're going to have an Instagram live conversation. Nice to meet you, Mago. Hi, Hannah. Lovely to meet you. Thank you for coming for the talk, and we're going to have it on Insta Live on Oscar Molina's gallery. Okay.
With the camouflage pants.
And here's Oscar and Enrique. And I'll introduce you guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. We are going to have an artist talk. Enrique Cabrera will introduce his work first and tell us a little bit about him and his background. And then we'll be listening to Oscar Molina, and he will give us a little bit about his background and his vision with the gallery and his artwork. So thank you for joining us. My name is Mago, and I will have this all on Instagram Live on Oscar Molina's gallery, as well on accesshamptons.com. So Enrique, thank you for joining us. And we're really so honored to have your work here. You're just really having a great moment in your career with placements of your work at the Rockefeller Center here in our own backyard in East Hampton. Could you tell us a little bit about your background, and then let us know a little bit about the artwork that you have hanging here at Oscar Molina's gallery?
Well, thanks for Oscar here in your studio, your gallery, your amazing energy, Oscar, amazing artist. I love your art. I am art collector with your pieces. No? I have 10 pieces around, yes. 10, 12. For me, the art is my life. No? Now I'm super happy for my projects, and it's a great moment now. Now I have my first exposition. It's a unique exposition in the history of Rockefeller Center, and Rock, in this moment. And this piece by Marius, and the big one is the unique piece, 7 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet. It's 1.5 tons in bronze. Wow. In the main lobby of the Rockefeller Center, and it's the first exposition in 18 years. Rockefeller Center opened your doors in 1932 with your mural Diego Rivera, and the history never, ningún artista, never artist put one art piece in the inside. Outside, many artists, but inside, I am the first artist. For me, it's a
Bravo!
This project opened big windows now. It's now I have my new project, unveiling Thanksgiving, the Big Apple. It's a big apple, and in the front, the Exxon building, you know Exxon building, 1251, across the Rockefeller Center. For 1 year, that's one big apple, 12 feet high, 4 tons in metal, 4 tons. Wow. Yes, it's crazy. And now I'm happy for have the opportunity working together with my friend Oscar. It's a great people, great man. It's, your energy is amazing. Just now, I tried 3 hours for it to stay here now. Yes, it's important at this moment for this takes for always this moment here to time, invest your time in this moment. It's amazing. Sorry for my English, no es perfect. Okay. It's bueno.
Would you be able to walk us through some of the artwork and sculptures that you have here and introduce us to the work?
Yes. This piece is two colors. It's a one edition, unique edition. Okay. This piece, I have a great history with it. This piece is the unique edition, and I put it in exposition in Miami, in Art Basel, in Tokyo, in Mori Museum, and in my exposition in 2019 in Museo del Louvre in Paris. It's a nice piece. It's a unique pieces. This piece, the name is Palmarius. This piece I made in 2015. Okay. All my pieces make 7 pieces. Okay. My edition is 7 pieces. My number. And this piece is the last piece with this edition. It's great energy. This piece. This piece, the name is Trilogia. It's this piece. And this is a one special edition with cover Swarovski, with silver. And this is a great project. This is a new collection. And the next year I made a one new project where I take in the ocean 100 pieces. And this is part of this collection. 100 pieces. I have 3. Yes. My intention is put 100 pieces in the ocean, around the world. And my intention is with, I made one collaboration with one foundation. I don't know what foundation now, but the intention is one retribution of the world. Put the metal in the ocean, all metal is. Ayúdame, hermano.
Could you tell us a little bit about what the significance of the skulls are? What do they mean to you?
Dímelo en español.
¿Cuál es el significado de usar la calabaza? O sea,
la calavera. Bueno,
la calavera.
For me, the skull is life, no is death, ¿no? Porque cuando estás en el vientre de tu mamá.
When you're in the womb of your mother.
You have one skull, ¿no? When you boil one skull, all life you have one skull. No? For me, it's life. No?
¿Y nos puede contar, esto es una colaboración que hizo usted, no?
Sí, eso les contaba ahora, les conté un poco de estas piezas.
¿Cuál es el artista con que colaboraste?
Bueno, las piezas son mías, las pintó un amigo conmigo, pero Domingo Zapata es un amigo español que hizo algo conmigo.
So the pieces here are in conjunction with Domingo Zapata. They both painted on these pieces.
Sí, esa es una serie muy especial. Y estas piezas, como les comentaba, de Palmarius. Y nada, tenemos varios, I have a lot of projects. Now, the Virgin has a one edition in 2010. It's this piece I made in the Bicentenario in Mexico in 2010. It's the most important restoration in Mexico in 2010. I made one edition with 7 pieces. This is the last piece. I made one San Miguel Arcángel, same size, and one big one is 28 feet.
So you restored an existing piece? Is that what you
This is not restored, this is I made. That I restored. I made the most important restoration in Mexico in 2010 in the Bicentenario. And I have the opportunity to work together with the CENIDIAP. CENIDIAP is the most important department in art and culture in Mexico, with restored many pieces around the world, in France and Italy and Belgium.
Could you tell us a little bit about the bull? I think we've all seen it here in East Hampton. Yes.
May I ask a question, though, because I don't know him
and I've been an art collector for 35 years. Where are you from, and how did you fall in love with art? ¿Qué fue tu primer momento que te impresionó el arte que dijiste quiero ser un artista?
Bueno, yo soy músico.
Oh, he's a musician.
Yes, yo soy músico.
That's art.
¿Qué clase?
Yo toco el piano, el bajo desde chico,
Okay.
¿no? Empecé en la
Form of
música, yes, en la restauración. Nunca dije yo voy a ser escultor o voy a ser
So
restaurador.
it just came about naturally. It
Yeah.
wasn't something you chose. But how old were you when you fell in love with music or art?
Tenía yo 17 años.
Okay.
17 years old.
So you were influenced by?
No, my mom,
Okay.
my grandmom, mi tío abuelo, ¿cómo se llama?
Your great uncle.
Ajá, ese,
Or your great grandfather.
yes, escultor muy conocido en México, en Veracruz.
Ah.
Ajá.
So you grew up with art around you. I'm always curious how artists
Es
become
right.
who they are.
Yes. Pienso que es parte de un inicio, ¿no? Porque
I think
todos,
it's in your DNA.
todos mundo tenemos talento, pero ya depende de cada quien a qué nivel lo llevas, lo desarrollas.
He basically says everybody has
Yes.
talent innate in them,
Yeah.
and that's true because I help children with art, and I believe most children have something creative in. But I'm always curious how someone who becomes as successful like you or Oscar begins. There has to be someone or something that influences you, and that's what always is my curiosity.
Bueno, gracias.
Sí, claro.
Gracias, Enrique. Ahorita vamos a abrir el espacio para preguntas. Thank you.
Gracias.
And Oscar Molina, who is a painter, sculptor, and gallerist here in Southampton, that is opening up this platform for artists of the Americas. Oscar also will start making these installations around the world, and he will tell us a little bit more about what he's working on and how he got started. So, Oscar, please introduce yourself and where you're from, and give us a little bit of your background and some of the artwork that's here.
All right. My name is Oscar Molina. I am a Salvadorian American artist. I came here to the United States in the late 1980s. And basically, like, I think most of have read already a little bit about the gallery. As an artist, I think we were talking about where do you start to become an artist and where do you find a passion to be an artist, right? I think I became a contractor, a mason contractor back in my early days. And I just love doing something from a piece of paper to something physical and, you know, a 3D model or any of these things. So that brought me to understand a little bit more of architecture, which is some of the things that I really love doing, construction. And that's what got me to where I am here.
So, Oscar, I know that you paint and create from your experiences. So, could you tell us a little bit about your experience and how they relate to your artwork directly?
All right, so as I made my crossing from El Salvador to the United States in '89, I do remember going across from Mexico to the United States, and there is this beautiful desert, the Arizona desert. And there's this magnificent skies over there during the night, and it's really hot during the day, obviously. But there is always something beautiful in it, anything that you have around it. So, down the road in my career, I decided to start painting this theme in my head of what I had seen. It was so beautiful. And I decided to start painting this sky. And as you see this particular pattern here in my painting, to me, this is the group of people that is crossing and is going into this magnificent night. And it's just beautiful stars in the horizons. That's how I kind of like imagined my scene, trying to put it in canvas. And I'm still, you know, I say that I'm still practicing, so there's a lot more to be performed in this particular pattern that I'm not there yet. But this is my explanation on this particular path.
So what we're looking at here is from your experience of crossing the desert, and the imagery here in the bottom would be the folks that were crossing with you?
Yes.
Yes. And then this is the larger sky.
Correct.
When we're looking at these sculptures here in the center of your gallery, could you tell us a little bit about what significance and some of the aesthetic that you're using to create them in medium? Okay,
again, this is something on my latest work. I went from painting acrylics to sculpting. Again, I go back to my old trade, which was masonry and construction. I know how to create bones, I know how to create structures, and I know how concrete works. And it's a beautiful combination, as we know. And one day I decided to start building this particular pattern, mirroring the images of what I had seen in my path. And so, again, using my older ways of doing construction, I started creating the shelves. Then I started working with this product, which is Italian composites. And that allows me to kind of keep the shapes and allows me to work the very next day. And sometimes even 2 days after, I can still work on them. And I just found this beautiful organic growth of these pieces, and I just kept growing up and up and up, and you know they can go as high as 20 feet. So my tallest one right now is 15. But so I started creating these patterns, and now what this one allows me, though, this particular product is what acrylics doesn't do. This one allows me to kind of give the piece my own energy, my own hands, and kind of create the faces and the images that I saw, you know, and in a way that they kind of like speak to me. And when you come across them, you also feel that energy. It's beautiful to see that, you know, there's a group of 5 people in a room, there's a group of 100 people in the room, and we all see each other, but we don't know each other. But we know, we feel the presence. So when I did the sculptures, if you see, there's a particular pattern under here. They do not have the eyes. And the reason why they do not have the eyes is, I do believe that one of the greatest things that God gave us was, you know, being able to see, right? It's a great thing. But it's also a very dangerous thing, because once you are in a position that you create yourself, or you put yourself, and then you start seeing the superior and the inferior, and then you start judging by what you see. You know, and society today around the world is just that. I feel that that country doesn't belong here, this line of people do not belong here, or this particular color doesn't belong here, and that's how the world has become to where it is right now. So I decided to just do these pieces without the eyes. So I feel that if we just close our eyes and just feel the presence of the neighbor, you get to feel more love for that person, because you know that if you have no sight, but if you have more people around you, you will be safe, because you move as a group, just like I did in the desert. And that's kind of like, my goal is to bring these pieces as an immigrant that felt that and lived that feeling to different parts of the world. You know, there is somebody immigrating or living in a country for a reason or another right now, and you can think of any country for any particular reason. Somebody's living in the country, and that's some kind of a form of immigrating, right? So this pattern, I think that anybody in any country will recognize. And I do believe that if I go to Mexico, which is planned to be, I plan to be there in February, I am going to build the same pieces from the earth right there in Mexico. And I already built a composition in El Salvador, right there from earth, right there from El Salvador. There is a particular color in India, there is a particular color in Peru about these clays that I like to work with. And I want to take that pattern and kind of like take these compositions and make them into these places, you know, and it's a long journey, but that's kind of one of my plans in the future, and I think that that's where, you know, my vision is.
Oscar, you're the true dream of crossing the desert, finding the beauty in something that is so hard, that happens to so many people, to leave their own home, to find a better place to live. But for you, your tenacity to oversee that and succeed as an American businessman as you are, and integrate yourself into our community as you are part of the hospital and many other organizations here in the Hamptons. You're really someone to look up to and aspire, and a great story. Now, the gallery here, you're also extending that as part of your vision. And could you tell us a little bit about what you want to do and why you created the gallery?
Okay, again, as an extension of what I do believe that we should do more as a society, is kind of like creating spaces for other artists like me to kind of like bring their own stories and show people here, you know, what is it like in their own story, but coming here to see that in paintings and collaboration of sculptures. And I think that for me that's very important. I think that we need to gather a little bit more and understand one another, to kind of like see and understand. We all go through frustrations in our life, and I think that as long as we understand that there's always going to be ups and downs in our life, there's always a future ahead of us that we can look forward to. This space here will be for that, you know, for people to express themselves through the stories, to canvas. To introduce their stories to canvas for us to understand.
I know that you have two series that you focus on, Children of the World and the Raindrop series.
Raindrop, yes.
Could you please explain to us the significance, because I think that also ties into your journey?
So, trouble, I talked about trouble just a little bit ago. I do believe that, you know, it's important for us to understand that when there's a wall in front of us, it's up to us to either climb it, dig under it, go around it, or any of that. But that's our choice. We have to make that decision. I do believe that one of my series, Raindrops, I have the strong belief that as long as we allow ourselves to get washed by the rain, which in this case I use the rain as an example, we allow ourselves to clean ourselves. And that series is called Raindrop because of that. And I have one particular painting that was here, it's called Black Rain, which is the one that it has a very golden, thin line right in the center. So you have a magnificent sky above, which ties with the skies in Arizona. And it also has a little golden area that is the critical part. I call that the critical hour. We can make all the wrong decisions, or we can take our decisions and make something good out of that decision right from that moment. And when we allow that to say, I am going to submit myself to understanding the consequences that are happening here now, it's a reason for it. So I take full responsibility for it, I own it, and then from there it's my decision to either get stuck or move forward, understanding that above me is a beautiful sky, magnificent stars, and right on that critical hour, as long as I submit myself to it, and I clean myself, then that is what you see raining down is that black rain, which is, again, the cleanness.
Thank you, Oscar. We're going to open up now to questionings. If anyone has any questions, comments, please. Sure, please. What's your name?
DeMarcus.
Hi, DeMarcus. Welcome to the gallery.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Question is, in the figures that you created, do any of the figures, like, do they remind you of a particular person or a group of people?
There is, and I do remember there is a very particular person that I remembered in that group. It's not here. I made a sculpture of it, and it was this woman with this child, a very determined woman, and it's probably the only sculpture that I have the same as this. that has the eyes, but it has this fearless side. And she's like one of those women determined to protect the child. And and here it's one of the things I cannot really express that, but that's why I'm moving to that. And I do believe in my mind that there's all kinds of people here, and there's all kinds of shapes and patterns, and this is one of the ones I did with multicolor, knowing that the world is multicolor.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question or comment? Yes? What's your name?
I work from immigration because I came here when I was 11 from a communist country. And I did one painting last year called Your Country, My Planet. And it's a person really looking at you, and she has all sorts of things stuck to her and paint thrown at her. And this side is burning behind her, and this is like paradise. And she's looking at the viewer. And really, I wanted that whoever looks at her is the person that's stopping her from going because of some unknown borders. I was recently paint with how does it look? How do we look from maybe a spaceship or more intelligent life? How do they look at us? And to say she can save her life from here to there because there's some invisible border. It's not the ocean, it's not a mountain. And so basically you have to go back to that. And my life is threatened here, but this is my whole planet, and I have the right as a living being to go over there, whether you like it or not, at least for the time to save my life.
How does it feel to be in a gallery that is connecting on some of those issues?
It feels great and so refreshing. I read Oscar's article in the newspaper, and it was like a light bulb. I said, oh my God, finally someone, I mean everybody does their own art, like the flowers, this and that, but I really connected to him because the way he wrote in the article was very sincere.
Yes.
And it was direct and important. And so I said, I have to write to him.
Yeah, we thank Vicky Schnepp and Angela LaGreca for that wonderful opportunity to express that story.
Yeah.
So how does it feel, Oscar, for you to be able to invite a brother such as Enrique to show here that's obviously paving the way for sculptors like yourself and others that you'll be showing here in your program?
It feels good. I mean, working with Enrique has been a magnificent experience. We've been together not only curating and working some of the ideas, but also creating a future
project
of what we think that could be done. And having him here is just it's unbelievable. All these pieces are unique and preciousness. And to me, it's an honor to actually have an exhibition going at the same time with him. So, and I feel really happy and really grateful for it.
Y Enrique, para ti, ¿cómo se siente abriendo el camino para otro artista? Como mencionaste que eres el primer artista invitado a mostrar adentro de una institución tan importante en Nueva York como el Rockefeller Center y en muchos otros proyectos que estás trabajando. ¿Qué le puedes decir a un artista? ¿Qué consejo puedes dar?
Ok. Voy a hablar en español.
Claro, está bien.
Mejor para que lo puedan entender bien lo que quiero decir, ¿no? Yo creo que para mí es muy importante poder transmitir. ¿Quieres traducir?
No, yo lo digo después.
Bueno, para mí es muy importante el poder, en este caso, poder tener la oportunidad de colaborar con Oscar por el simple hecho de que todos tuvimos las oportunidades, ¿no? Entonces yo creo que es un momento, como él lo dice, mágico también para él. En su momento yo pude hacerlo con otro artista que a lo mejor no es que sea mejor o menor, pero siempre sumando fuerzas y tomando experiencias a lo largo de este caso de mi carrera, pues yo, como le he dicho muchas veces a él, yo hubiera querido en su momento tener otra oportunidad, a lo mejor como a mi nivel, ¿sabes? Entonces...
Pero toma mucho coraje, o sea, ¿cómo llega uno al nivel que has llegado tú? En serio.
Bueno...
¿Qué pasos has tomado tú para llegar a poner piezas y tener tu carrera en el punto que lo tienes?
No, me gustaría que lo tradujeras al momento para que lo puedan...
So the
entender las
question
personas.
is, I'm asking
Sí.
Enrique,
¿Por qué no preguntas tú? Y yo hablo y yo...
yo lo puedo hacer los dos.
Sí.
How does it feel to be able to open the doors and create a path for artists and sculptors like himself? And then the second question was, how did he take these steps to really open those doors up? So he first mentioned that he's very proud to be showing with Oscar here, and it's not about if there's an artist being better than another, but the union and that connection is the strength that they're building on.
Yo he trabajado a lo largo de muchos años. Siempre una de mis visiones es buscar lograr que mi pasión se vuelva mi profesión. ¿Okay? Y creo que no es fácil lograrlo, ¿no? Entonces, a base de mucho esfuerzo, mucho sacrificio, mucha dedicación, muchas caídas, muchas levantadas, más caídas que levantadas, ¿no? Lo puedes ir logrando, ¿no? El buscar hacer lo que es tu pasión, eso es algo bien difícil que ojalá todo el mundo lo pueda lograr, ¿no?
So he shared with us that he was able to find his passion and make it his work of life, really. That with many falls and perseverance, he believes, because I asked what would he suggest to artists to get to the opportunities that he has been. So thank you, gracias por...
Y la otra, quiero decir algo más. Yo he trabajado y seguiré trabajándolo siempre para buscar trascender. Esa es una frase que traigo muy arraigada. Yo quiero trascender sin tener que morir.